Twas the Night Before is the story of a young girl, Isabella, on the verge of becoming a young woman, and her father that's trying to reconnect with her using the poem of Twas the Night Before Christmas, because it was a tradition that they've had ever since she was little. And when he's frustrated that he's not able to reconnect with her, Isabella is magically transported into the world of the poem itself, where she meets these fantastical characters based on some of these fun images from the poem. So when we first started on this project, I think everybody was very surprised that Cirque had never done a Christmas show before, because they seem like such a natural combination, because they're both about magic, they're both special, they're both exciting. And I think that's, as a creative team, what we've had so much fun is finding the comedy, finding the anticipation and the excitement that comes so naturally with Christmas and building that into a show. The team that we've brought together, we all agreed from the start that, there are already so many great Christmas shows that exist. We wanted to do sort of a different take on Christmas, a modern take, something that was maybe a little bit more fashion-oriented, something that's going to be really fun for families and for kids, that was bright and colorful and joyful, but still had the excitement that comes with a Cirque du Soleil performance that you expect when you come and see a Cirque du Soleil show. So growing up, it was definitely a big part of my Christmas. Twas the Night Before. It's actually, the poem is called A Visit from St. Nicholas, and it was something that we read every year before Christmas. And what I wanted to do, there are some beautiful images in the poem, but I knew we didn't want to literally retell the poem, and we wanted kind of a Cirque twist. So what we did was we deconstructed it, and we took different lines, different images from the poem, and one of the most fun for me creatively was finding ways to connect them with different acts, different characters, and really sort of turn the poem upside down. So as an audience member, you hear lines that you remember, that you're familiar with, and maybe some lines that you've forgotten, and they're connected to these images or acts in a very sort of surprising and unexpected way. We are so excited about this show that we're putting together, especially excited about this new tradition that we're creating, that we're going to be sharing with so many people over Christmas.
So the story about our show is that it's about the passion for Christmas. Some people lose it as they grow older, some other people keep it. And our main character is taken into a world where she has to find back her spark, so the light and the passion for Christmas. And there are people in this new world that she's going into, and they help her to find it back.
I'm and I'm doing aerial hammock in the show Twas the Night Before. I'm playing the spark of love, which represents the love between all beings, and specifically in this show, the love between the father and his daughter.
Our main character, Isabella, and her father are having a moment as they are having each night before Christmas, and he's reading the story to her, and he starts by reading the poem, It Was the Night Before Christmas. And then as she gets transported into another world, she hears the voice of her father in echoes throughout the show, and each act that we are having is represented by a sentence of the poem, and we have beautiful images that we are creating and that will be representing the sentences of that poem. So it's going to be deconstructed, but people are going to recognize the sentences.
We needed to go somewhere else and try to bring Christmas on stage in a different way.
In fact, I think it's the first time that the Cirque does a Christmas show. In the same way that Cirque probably always takes a certain idea or something and creates their own universe out of it, I think this is the first time that Cirque du Soleil is going to create their version of Christmas.
I think it's exciting. It definitely is a more contemporary take on a Christmas show, I guess, I feel. And I feel like it came out of Geneviève because she was kind of the first one in the process to design the set. And then it came in with James, because I saw all of the drawings, the costume drawings. And I think that we went into like a fun family take, but contemporary and minimalistic at some point.
Yeah, I think that's it too. Like we knew from the beginning that we wanted to do Christmas, and we wanted to respect all the traditions and all the kind of like ideas of what Christmas means. But we also wanted to feel free to reinterpret that in like from a 2020 kind of perspective, from a modern contemporary perspective. On stage, we will see definitely a lot of glitter.
Yes, a lot of glitter.
I think in all three of our departments,
all departments, yes.
It's a very, very fun, very colorful, very glittery take on Christmas.
We're mixing so many art forms together.
It's true. I think it's sort of that. It's like we've taken everything that people like know and love about Christmas and added that like Cirque touch on top of it. You know, with the performances, yes, of course, with the dancing, but also with the visuals as well too. We've really pushed it to, I think, a place that is like, for me at least personally, really exciting take on Christmas.
I think Cirque allows us to go really crazy with Christmas, like really far and exaggerate some aspects of it. So as I said, the garden, there's going to be a lot of them. So everything is like pushed to a level you don't expect.
But used in a different way than you would usually see it at Christmas time. So I feel that's what's the interesting part of it too.
Well, in fact, yeah, I think like the set design for me is really exciting because it's just that. You've taken something that we're very used to seeing at Christmas, these glittery Christmas garlands, and then kind of exploded it into this kind of like, you know, abstract, really exciting design. And I think we've been able to do that as well with the costumes and with the makeup.
Yes.
So it's been, it's exciting.
So yesterday's comment of James, because sometimes he's not able to come and assist to the test, and I have only the designer. And yesterday I sent him a pic, and he's like, "It's kind of crazy, but I just love it." That's kind of what the vibe we're going for right now. Is like, you know, surprising people, but also like having traditions and family show, and it's like colorful, but it's still, you know, restrained in a way that it's interesting.
Yeah, we're definitely having fun. You know?
Yes, we're
like you
definitely
say,
having fun.
you know, you love Christmas, and it shows like in the designs you're doing. And I mean, everyone loves Christmas, and you know, we're just having a really good time being able to play with that.
So the team has been working really hard to find a theater before we actually go in the show venues that can accommodate for all the enormous set that we have. It's 15,000 feet of garlands, so we have to fit the set, the lights. The setup is almost the same as the other theaters that we will have. So we've been rehearsing here for 1 week. We had all the artists come from another rehearsal studio, and we had 1 week in this place to set up all the lighting, work on the transitions for artists to get used to their costumes, make sure that we do all the modifications for them to be able to do their performances. So basically, this is where the show all come together with all the set pieces, the props, the lighting, the costumes, and all the team is working hard to prepare in order for the show to be ready. As soon as we're done with the rehearsals and staging, the technical team will take the lead and we're loading out. We have, I think it's 5 hours to take off everything. So we really hope to see it will be an awesome Christmas show for all the family, kids, adults. If you want to come, you're most than welcome to have fun with us.